Hello guys, welcome back to the Sterlinx Global channel. My name is Jay, and I'm one of the account specialists of Sterlinx Global, a UK-based accounting firm specializing in e-commerce and traditional businesses. For today, we will discuss IOSS for e-commerce and Amazon FBA sellers. If you are an e-commerce seller struggling to understand the IOSS regulations, you are not alone, and this video is most definitely for you. IOSS, or the Import One-Stop Shop, is a set of rules for businesses that sell goods online to customers in the European Union. But there's still much more to learn about IOSS tax that you should be aware of. In this video, we will explain what IOSS is, how it affects e-commerce and Amazon FBA sellers, and how you can comply with regulations. Stick with me as we delve into IOSS tax. What is IOSS? IOSS, or the Import One-Stop Shop, is a system that simplifies collecting and paying VAT or value-added tax on goods sold to customers in the EU. Previously, businesses had to register for VAT in each EU member state they sold to, which was time-consuming and costly. With the IOSS tax, businesses can register for VAT in just one member state and pay the tax on all sales made to customers in the EU. Effects of IOSS on e-commerce sellers. As an e-commerce or Amazon seller, if you sell goods to EU customers, you must comply with EU tax regulations. This includes registering for IOSS tax, collecting the correct VAT amount, and submitting a monthly IOSS return. Number 1. Simplified VAT compliance. The IOSS system makes VAT compliance a whole lot easier for e-commerce sellers. With IOSS, you can register for VAT in just one EU member state and then collect and remit VAT on all their cross-border sales to EU customers in a single VAT return. Number 2. Competitive edge. By registering for IOSS tax, you can include VAT in the final price of your products, providing customers with a more streamlined checkout experience and can help you as a seller stand out from the competition. If you choose not to register, you cannot add the VAT to your pricing. As a result, your products may appear more expensive than registered sellers, as customers will have to pay additional VAT charges upon delivery. From this, we can say that IOSS is a transparent approach that can help build trust between you and the customer. Customers are more likely to buy from sellers who are transparent and upfront about their prices and fees, rather than those who may surprise them with additional charges later on, such as pass-on VAT. Hope you are starting to understand the benefits of having IOSS. Stick with me as we have 2 more effects to discuss and some tips on how you can implement IOSS in your e-commerce business. Number 3. Reduce the risk of VAT fraud. Another effect of the IOSS is the decreased risk of VAT fraud in cross-border e-commerce transactions. Back when sellers only used the old system, tax authorities found it hard to monitor and track cross-border sales, which made it easier for some sellers to commit VAT fraud. However, with IOSS, all cross-border sales to EU customers are reported in a single VAT return. Tax authorities can easily monitor their sales and ensure that VAT is being collected and remitted properly and accurately. Reducing the risk of VAT fraud with IOSS can help maintain the integrity of the VAT system, which benefits both the government and honest e-commerce sellers. Number 4. Additional costs. However, despite the above-mentioned benefits, you should also note that there are some additional costs associated when using the IOSS system. If you choose to register for IOSS, you will need to pay a service fee to the tax authorities, and you will also need to ensure that your systems are set up to collect and remit VAT in accordance with the IOSS rules. What can e-commerce sellers do? Now that you've covered the effects of IOSS, let's talk about what you can do as an e-commerce or Amazon seller to comply with the regulations. Here are a few tips. Number 1. Register for IOSS as soon as possible. The sooner you register, the sooner you can add on the VAT to your prices and start collecting and paying VAT on behalf of your customers in the EU. Number 2. Use a third-party provider or customs agent to handle the VAT payments and returns. Doing so will save you time and ensure the process is handled correctly and in accordance with the regulations. Number 3. Update your invoicing system to include your IOSS identification number. This will show that VAT has been paid and help you avoid delays at customs. Number 4. Maintain accurate and complete records of your sales to customers in the EU. Keeping accurate records make it easier to submit your monthly IOSS return and ensure that you pay the correct VAT amount. And before we end, let us answer some frequently asked questions about IOSS tax for e-commerce and Amazon FBA sellers. Number 1. Who is required to register for IOSS? Under IOSS, sellers only need to register for VAT if they sell goods valued at less than £150 to customers in the EU from outside the EU. This includes businesses based outside of the EU, such as those using Amazon's FBA service. Number 2. Do I need to collect VAT on goods sold to customers outside the EU? No, you do not need to collect VAT on goods sold to customers outside of the EU. However, you may still be required to pay import duties or other taxes in the country where the goods are shipped. Number 3. Can I still sell goods to customers in the EU if I don't register for IOSS? Yes, you can still sell goods to EU customers even without registering for IOSS. While possible, doing so may result in higher costs and increased administrative burden for your business. You must pay VAT in each member state where you sell goods. This means you must comply with VAT regulations and register in each country where you sell goods. Registering for IOSS can simplify the process and help ensure your business complies with EU VAT regulations. IOSS may seem daunting at first, but it's designed to simplify collecting and paying VAT for businesses that sells to customers in the EU. As an e-commerce or Amazon FBA seller, it's essential to understand the regulations and take steps to comply with them. And that's all for today. Hoping this video helps you have an overview about IOSS for e-commerce and Amazon FBA sellers. And if you want more professional advice on your VAT, check out the Sterlinx Global website at sterlinxglobal.com. If you enjoyed this content and want to learn more about accounting and taxation for business, please like the video and subscribe to our media channels. Again, I am Jay of Sterlinx Global, and I will see you next time.